Hey foodies! Today we're taking seasonal rhubarb and turning it into a beautiful tart with a creamy twist. This tart combines tangy rhubarb, rich cream cheese, fresh lemon zest, and just a hint of cinnamon for the perfect balance of sweet, tart, and comforting flavors. Whether you're baking for a family gathering or just treating yourself, this gluten-free tart is surprisingly easy to make and absolutely delicious. Let's get baking. We're going to start by mixing our gluten-free all-purpose flour blend with our salt, baking soda, and cinnamon. We're just going to mix that up into our bowl. And you want to just disperse everything nice and evenly so that you don't get a big chunk of cinnamon when you bite into your tart. Or baking soda, nothing's worse than biting into a big chunk of baking soda. So we're just mixing that up so it's nice and mixed. There we go. Now in another bowl, and I'm using my mixer, we're going to add our cream cheese, and that's softened cream cheese, our butter, and it's softened butter, our sugar, and our lemon zest. We're going to beat this up on high just until it's all combined. So I'm going to scrape down the walls just to make sure everything's really well mixed. It smells so good right now. It started off, the smell was the lemon zest, and then the cream cheese smell came through, and it was like, oh wow, it smells like a cheesecake almost. Okay. Next we want to crack our eggs, and I like cracking my eggs in a separate bowl. That's mostly to make sure that I don't have a shell, and look at that, I've got a shell in there, so I'm going to just... Come on. Out you come. There it goes. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to add these eggs one at a time into the mixer, and I'm going to scrape the bowl down as needed. So I'm going to scrape down the bowl one more time. There we go. Make sure I get right in the very bottom. There we go. And now we're going to add our vanilla. Just give this a light mix. And I'm going to add my flour in 2 different parts. So I'm going to just cut this in half. There we go. And we're just mixing this until it's combined. Okay, and we'll add the last of it. And I'm going to scrape down the walls just to get the flour off the sides. There we go. And then I'll give it just a really light mix just to make sure that everything is combined. There we go. Oh, that smells so good. Just clean off my paddle. There we go. looks really nice. Okay, I'm gonna set my rhubarb aside for a minute. So I've got an 11-inch tart pan with a removable bottom, just like that. I've greased it and lightly floured it. And now we're going to put our filling right in. That looks so good. There we go. And I'm going to just spread it out. Nice. I'll just scrape that off. There we go. Get that last little bit in there. So I'm going to set that over there. Because now we're going to take our rhubarb and we're going to cut them into 4-inch lengths. So that's approximately half of what I've got here. And we want to split them down the middle. And some of these are really little. They don't probably have to be split. Oh, I love the smell of rhubarb. It's so great. I remember as a kid, I used to grab a bowl of sugar and go out and sit in the rhubarb patch and then just pick a piece of rhubarb and wipe it off on my pants and dip it in the sugar and take a bite, and it was so good. There we go. That's looking good. Okay, so I've got all of the rhubarb cut up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just laying this down, or laying it down, I should say, in a nice spiral or spoke pattern. Some of my pieces are a little bit big. Might cut them down a little bit in spots. That's better. Okay, so this is going to go into my preheated oven of 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 170 degrees Celsius for about 50 minutes or until a toothpick inserted comes out clean. We'll see in a moment. This looks divine. I can't wait to give it a try and see what it tastes like. The recipe called for it to be baked for 50 to 55 minutes. It took 30 minutes in my oven, so do keep an eye on it. I set it for 30 because I'm like, I want to make sure it doesn't get overbaked, and I'm glad I checked it because look at this. It was perfect at the 30-minute mark. I put a skewer in, actually twice, because I wanted to make sure it was actually done, and it finished no problem. So let's pop it out of its frame. Look at that. Look at the side of that. That's beautiful. And I've gone ahead and whipped a bit of whipped cream because I thought a little whipped cream with that might be nice. I'm also thinking a little bit of powdered sugar, just to give it a little bit of contrast, not a lot. Nice. Oh, doesn't that look pretty? Okay. Now we're going to slice into it. Oh, it slices really nicely. Oh, it looks lovely. Grab my plate. Moment of truth when we pick it up. Look at that. That's a nice looking piece of tart. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside. Let's look at this. Flip it on its side. Nicely browned on the bottom. The crumb looks really nice. I like how the rhubarb is softened and gone right into the filling. I really like that. I'm going to add a dollop of whipped cream. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. Ah, why not? There we go. Now we can give it a try. I'm going to have it without the whipped cream first. Oh, there we go. Mmm. The citrus really pops and brings out the flavor, and so does the cinnamon. You can really taste the cinnamon in the lemon zest. That's really nice. Mmm. That's a great tart to have with a tea, little summer social, something like that. If you're looking for the recipe, you can visit glutenfreeguy.ca. Thanks for watching.